I really dug this film.
Oh, cool, thanks.
I think it's really cool. And I like the fact that you've kind of taken a new direction. And you got Meg Foster, man. She is phenomenal.
Yeah,
here.
she had disappeared. She was done. She hadn't done anything like over a decade.
What was it? Why bring her back, and how did you get her back?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it, and the fact that she hadn't worked in that long. I hadn't thought about it. I just like her, and I thought maybe she'd be great for it. And I called her up on the phone, and we talked for a while, and I knew from talking to her, just her personality and the way she would just discuss things, that she would be perfect for the role. Because I needed somebody. That role could be really stupid. Mm-hmm. It could be this cornball witch role, and I needed somebody who would embrace it in a realistic way that, take it to heart. And she did. I mean, she really took it to heart, and a lot of her actual personality really comes through in that, because she's a very kind of spiritual, kind of ethereal sort of person, so.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of that, because that doesn't come through in any of her other roles that I can think of,
I mean, I remember being introduced to her when I was a kid, through They Live and stuff, and you can't forget her eyes, man.
Yeah, her eyes really, they don't jump out as much as they used to, but I really think that, I can't think of anything she's been in that she's better than she is in this.
Yeah,
I mean, because a lot of times, like a movie like They Live, everybody will mention that, but then I look back, she just sort of was like the woman in peril there. She didn't, but she didn't own the movie, but she really owns this part and really is. I didn't know, it's like you're happy when somebody has something in them that you didn't even know they had.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of horror films nowadays, they kind of have this kind of male-centric idea.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's a leading man. This one is very female-centric.
Yeah, it totally is.
What was it about that whole Wiccan witchcraft? Why?
Well, it was funny because it sort of just came out that way. I didn't really notice it. This may sound insane, but sometimes I didn't notice it until I was shooting, because there was other male roles and they would sort of diminish. And then one day I'm on set and I'm like, it's just 9 women every day. The 3 modern witches, Sheri, the 7 other. I was like, this is nuts. And let me tell you, when you get 9 women together, they're not all going to get along. So that was something. I know, shocker, right?
I know, right?
But no, it was great. They all got along with me. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it brought a whole different flavor to it. Because, I think I haven't said this, but I really think girls will respond to this. Because a lot of horror movies do become very, geek boy fantasy movies. So, hey, some girl with big tits is going to take her top off for no reason.
Well, I mean,
before she dies.
They take their tops off in this, but not in the way you would expect.
Yeah, no, I thought that I always remember there was that one really old naked witch in Polanski's Macbeth.
Yeah.
She's just so disturbing. She's so old that her hair is all falling out. And, I don't know, maybe they shaved her head, and I thought, that's something that will freak out kids.
Yes, a little bit. It's also, I think it's very atmospheric. I mean, I was reminded watching it, I grew up watching Let's Scare Jessica to Death. And it very much has that kind of appeal, that very character-driven, very stylistic.
Yeah.
Was that kind of an influence, those kinds of movies?
Well, yeah, all that type of stuff. I wanted to just be atmospheric, because a lot of times I felt like the plot and all that was sort of secondary. Because the movies a lot of times I liked, especially a lot of the European films, it's just the vibe of the whole thing. And even sometimes when you watch some, like an Argento movie or a Fulci movie, you might go wait a minute, I don't even know what's going on anymore in this movie. What happened? But you get caught up in the vibe of it all and the feeling of it. And I wanted the whole thing to just have this vibey, dreamlike quality. And even though it makes sense, and there obviously is a story you can follow, it was secondary to just the way it makes you feel. I wanted, when the movie to end, to have people feel like, wow, I feel like I just had this weird dream that I'm trying to process, as opposed to, because the natural inclination with every movie and with every studio, and with this too, they give you notes, and all the notes are, why is this happening? Why is it happening to her? Why is it happening that day? Why, until you just explain everything to the point where everything in life is so random.
Yeah.
But then when you start explaining everything, it just feels really contrived, to me anyway. So I liked the feeling of it just being, loose and more vibey.